Alright, I'm going to be playing some matches with Whir of Azorius. So it has Zerda as the companion. So every card in the deck has to have an activated ability if it's a permanent, and it makes things cost 2 less, the activated abilities. And Whir of Invention is essentially 3 mana instant, put a Soul Talisman in play. It's kind of like a Worn Power Stone, but instant. And it's also untapped, which is not that relevant, but it's fine. And then I can also get All Fate Scroll, which is a Manalith that can be sacked to draw a bunch of cards, which is really helpful for winning the late game, and then Shackles as well. Just a very good removal spell against a lot of decks. Otherwise, it's just a regular Azorius control deck, has Wraths, has Condemns, has a little bit of card advantage, has the 4 Deduce, has the 8 counter spells with Lapse and Leak, plus Refute as well. And it is kind of lacking in win cons. The only real win cons I have are Dawn of Hope, which is really good with Zerda, and Celestial Colonnade, also good with Zerda, and that's really it. I have Zerda as a 3/3 which can attack, which doesn't really get there. Sunfall can also be a win con. But it is kind of dependent on Dawn of Hope, which is probably a problem, but I haven't lost so far because of it. So I managed to be a mono-red combo brew by Tom Sonic and a green plus list somehow. And I'm currently 2-0 in the league so far, so I will play the remaining 3 matches for this video. Sideboard pretty stock, I would say. It definitely has to... Well, it's not exactly stock because you would normally want to play a lot of cards that are permanents and don't have activated abilities like Pithing Needle and similar. Locks it on Peacekeeper instead of Timelies. But yeah, I'm going to be playing these 3 matches remaining in the league with this Azorius control deck, which is hopefully going to be better at something than a more traditional Azorius control list. I don't know what, but we'll see. Alright, it is round 1. Or no, the first match I'm recording. It's round 3 actually. I do not know what my opponent is on. Some kind of life gain deck. Life gain aggro. This hand is a little awkward. No counterspells. Has Condemn for Speaker of the Heavens. Or whatever else this could be. It has turn 3 Whir for Soul Talisman. And then I can go All Fates, hold up more mana, maybe play another Whir for Soul. Or Shackles, more likely. Condemn is actually pretty bad for me here. But I do need to do it, because if my opponent has a way to gain life with a spell, then I would just die. Or they would just start making 4/4s and I would have to find a Wrath pretty quickly. Giada, so they are actually doing some Angels things, so not exactly what Jace Arveduin was doing last season. It looks like it's probably just an Angels deck that happens to have Leyline of Hope because it has the +2/+2 ability. I know that we had like every Angels card last season. I'm not sure if we kept them all. Like, do we have Resplendent? Do we have Righteous Valkyrie? I'm guessing yes if my opponent is playing this deck. Starfield Shepherd, so that can find the Speaker of the Heavens as well as the thing that gets +5/+5 for having 30 life. And it does gain life from Case. They still can't go to 27 until they play 2 more creatures. So I get Soul Talisman here. So I'm just going to try to ramp as hard as I can and then just Wrath away their board. That is also acceptable. So I can either do Whir or Lapse, but I think I'm probably going to save Whir for Shackles regardless. Although 3 islands is not enough if they have 27 life with this. I do kind of need to counter this, right? That is what they found. Yeah. They are going to have something else, though. I shouldn't be F6ing. Do they actually have nothing? No land either, so next turn they're probably just going Starfield, Shepherd. Or no, they're probably just playing Speaker again, and then doing nothing else. Which is quite good for me, because it means I can actually Shackles. So, if I play Island, I can go Whir and then Shackles in the same turn. So I will do that. That means I can steal something even if they have Leyline. Though if they have like an instant to gain life, I guess I can't. Although, actually, if I want to steal Speaker, I can do it regardless. That has Flying, which is unfortunate, because I can't block it with Speaker. Okay, and they are just doing nothing here, as I expected. So I grab my Shackles. Steal Speaker, or am I just doing nothing? I could just do nothing. Oh, that is a very good draw. And I can actually just play the Zerda and hold up Laps. So that is very good for me. Because now I can go all Fate Scroll before they can actually do anything, which means I can find counters off of it to counter whatever they play. Because they're probably only playing one card here, if they had nothing to do after the Speaker. So I just counter their only play. They drew a land. Oh, they just played the Shepherd. Okay, so Laps is kind of awkward here because now they can warp it again, but that's fine. I could try to steal Gyata so they can't play the thing again, but no, I just have Refute, so that's fine. And now that I can actually attack them, they are going to have a hard time getting to 27 life for the Leyline. So they play the thing again, I refute it. So I do this first. I can't draw now, that's fine. Oh, another counterspell. So again, I'm just not using the scroll, I'm just countering and then drawing a card with Study. Study is actually so good in this deck, because it's just so important to actually have a way to use the Soul Talisman mana. And even if you don't have it, it's just really good with Zerda. Essentially 4 mana to draw a card, including the Study. No reason to counter that. Are they just passing? What could they possibly have if they aren't doing anything? I'm not sure. I think I do finally use the scroll. I can still activate Study. And then I just... yeah, it's very over. I just counter everything they play. And just attack them with Kalinade and all of this. I can leak that. I do not want to answer that. So they probably can't get to 27 life, regardless of what they do. And if they play several creatures, I could just Sunfall, reset the board, or even one creature. And Case is pretty weak if I exile all of the creatures, because Shepherd is not very good off of it. So they probably have a creature. I don't know. They could have already played a 5-mana creature if they had one. Or they could have attempted to. Though maybe not, because they were playing Starfield Shepherd instead. And that's better into counters. Because it's less important. I could just play Sunfall here, and then I get to have Shackles untapped while I start attacking with Colonnade and the incubate thing. They could gain a lot of life with Ardenvale. I don't think that really matters though, and if I'm activating Colonnade, I'm doing more damage than the gain life. If I had a way to gain life, I could have actually used their speaker, but I don't really. So I just activate Colonnade here and pass. I should have played Island for Shackles, but it does not matter. So I still have Athasas for their whatever they want to play, if anything. If they activate Cave, I just steal it. I guess I let that happen. That is quite annoying, though. A third Condemn. I guess that's what they've had all game. That's why they weren't playing any cards even when they had plenty of mana. I'm surprised they're playing that many Condemns in the main deck. Or any at all. Because Angels is kind of aggressive. Okay, so now they can get their cases solved just with Ardenvale, which they can do right now. But I guess they aren't. I don't know why. I guess they don't really care at the moment. Solving it doesn't do anything. It could be quite annoying for them to get to 27 life though now, and they probably can do that. Because I don't really have a way to attack them, and their creatures make 4 life every turn. Actually, no, they make 6 life a turn now. I really have no way to combat that. And I have very few win cons in the deck. So I kind of need to draw a Dawn of Hope. Actually, I'll just wait and then Thassa's for a bunch. I do need to be attacking. Try to keep them from getting to 27 as quickly. Too quickly. Are they actually blocking here? No way. They double block, wow. They really don't want me to have a creature. That seems strange, because they're about to make them 3/3s. So I don't know why they did that. Dawn of Hope does beat... Wait, what? They could have had Leyline of Hope active. What are they doing? Dawn of Hope does beat a 3/3 every turn, though. Because I can make more than 3 1/1s a turn, potentially. So I will look at 9 cards, find some lapses, I guess. That was terrible. No card draw, no Dawn of Hope. Do not untap that. I guess I do activate Cave, because why not? I could condemn it. I think that would be a bad play, though. They can still solve the cases and also have Leyline active. Okay, Repeal is very good here. It lets me permanently get rid of the Leyline. Whir gets the other All Fate scroll. I think I'm just passing here. And then in response to the Arden Veil, I repeal. Now that can't solve the cases. I kind of don't want to Whir. I don't really have anything good with just the All Fate scroll. But it doesn't really matter. I'll draw the Dawn of Hope eventually and win the game. And I will draw it faster if I don't use Whir. So I know 7 of the cards on the bottom. Okay, this is a little ridiculous. No way I'm actually going to deck out before I can win. Wait, what is that card? Why don't I know what it is? It's not a land, because they would play it so they can Arden Veil if it was. I guess I'll condemn that, why not? So I am now out of counters. Okay, that's how I find it. I guess I will activate this clue first, though. So Farsight is almost guaranteed to find the Dawn of Hope. I'm not going to sack a Soul Talisman, because I want to be able to use Dawn of Hope more often than that. I guess I get All Fates just as a Manolith. And I'm out of counters, but that's fine. The bishop doesn't do anything right now. Actually, I think I shackled the bishop. I don't draw with the farmland, I'll just play it as a land. Actually, this untaps. So they can use the Arden Veil That's quite annoying. But I guess I want to do it anyway. Okay, leak is not nothing, I guess. It's pretty bad. Lapse would be really good. Whir is completely dead right now. I should have taken condemn over it. Then I could just condemn the bishop after I steal it. I do need to be a little bit concerned with time. This is game 1. And I've been playing slowly recently. I'm not sure if it's like a MTGO speed thing or what. But they have a lot of life gain. And I don't know, I do actually lose the game if they remove Dawn of Hope, I think. I have really no other win cons. Actually, I have a Colonnade near the bottom of my deck, as well as Azurda. Though actually I played Thassa's after that, right? Activated of creatures. I can't leak that, unfortunate. Okay, so I actually need to be playing fast. Maybe I'll restart after this, even though I did just open Magic Online. So it really shouldn't be lagging too much. Why is this taking so long? But it is really laggy right now. So I actually could get into time trouble. Okay, that is really good for me. And the Dawn of Hope triggers are going to be a problem for time as well. Because I have to say no to all of them. I don't know why it's so laggy. It shouldn't be like this when I've just opened Magic Online. I really can't leak anything. They attack? What? I mean, they do have Case active if they activate Ardenvale now. But they don't, okay. So, I don't know why they attacked. That does nothing for them except remove their blocker. Okay, yeah, so I'm finding the cards I condemned. The cards on bottom are now the cards from Thassa's. And something else as well. I don't know what. I only put 7 cards on the bottom with Thassa's. Not again. The 4th condemn. I mean, I guess it prevents me from decking. I should have activated Dawn of Hope a bunch of times. But yeah, the actual fear is time, not decking. Though I could time them out. I'm not that far behind on time. I do play a leak here just so they can't activate the Ardenvale. And they pay for it. Actually, I want to activate Whir, just so I shuffle the deck. So Zerda can be found earlier. I also want to know what's in the deck quickly. A Leak and a Zerda, that's all that matters in the deck. No, I should not do that. Okay, I pressed 5, that's bad. But it is pretty important to activate Colonnade, I think. 4 damage a turn doesn't trigger Dawn of Hope. That's so many triggers. At least if I can get lethal next turn, I won't actually have to respond to the triggers. And it is lethal unless I draw something, right? Perhaps not. Because all I do is... So they gain 6 life. And have 3 blockers. I don't know. I'm just going to attack and see what happens. I think this is lethal. They don't have a flyer. Though they could get one, but they wouldn't gain life then, so it does the same as making a creature. And 10 minutes is 11 minutes is plenty of time to win another game, even if I lose the game too. I think it's barely lethal. No, it's 1 off, because they have the lifelinker. It's 17 damage. Wow. That's so unfortunate. I could have actually waited. No, I couldn't have waited. Wow. Because if I waited and just made some Dawn of Hope tokens first, they would have gained more life and blockers. More than I would make creatures, I think. This is so unfortunate, because I lose like over half a minute just to these triggers, I think. Or like around half a minute. Okay, they're dead. I don't even need Colonnade. It's kind of close, though. No, it's not. Okay, then. So I'm gonna have a little over 10 minutes. I guess I do restart right now. Okay, I have sided out the bad cards and sided in the good cards. I got some counter spells, added some answers to non-creature, non-land permanents, basically. So this is a very good hand. Has answers to 1-drops, has turn 2 laps. They are on 68 cards. Okay. Did they side in Did they just side in 8 cards and not side out anything? I don't isolate because this card is pretty terrible right now. I can just isolate it later. I'm sure to have mana at some point. Shackles is the correct name though, because I will find it off Whir if I don't draw it, most likely. Okay, so if they sided in a bunch of cards, and then that means they have too many non-lands compared to lands, and lapsing them could actually mana screw them really hard. So yeah, I am just going to time walk them a few times. Which is actually not that good for me because I don't really have anything to do with that. So now I just have to let this happen, let them do whatever they want. But they are missing a land drop, so they probably can't do that much. I play Farsight for a land, I think. I'll take All Fates. They could disenchant this, and that would be like my only win con that actually works. So maybe that would be bad. I would love a Wrath here. I could have played Zerda and then just gone Condemn. Maybe that was the play. Double Disenchant could be appealing. Okay. The mana is nice to Condemn. What are they doing? They're holding back Yada. They're holding back both, okay. It seems to be lagging a little bit less, so that's good. I do really want to Wrath to get rid of this board, and I can't do that now that I played Zerda, or I kind of lose the game, which is unfortunate. And I have really no way to remove these creatures. I have like Repeal, and that's about it, unless they attack. And I can't answer this, whatever it is. Okay, at least it's not particularly relevant. Though it does mean that if they have a thing that cares about their life total, that's really bad for me. I actually need to use All Fates, I think. Oh, I guess Sunfall can be a win con. Shackles would also be the nuts. Okay. I mean, I just Sunfall, I think. And the large creature is just my win con. I do need to play around Condemn, but they probably sided them all out. That's fine. I have a lot of life, but I am going to have a pretty large creature. Losing my Zerda does suck, but I don't need it for Dawn of Hope to make a lot of creatures. And I'm really just going to try to get there with the one creature. Maybe force them to chump, because they really don't have many things that they can afford to chump with. Like, they just lose a lot of value every time they chump. So Sunfall is actually really nice here as a win con. I would be in a pretty bad spot if I didn't have it. But I guess really the only other card that would have worked is Shackles. What does that even name? I don't know, but I think I lapse anything that moves here. Oh, I was not paying attention. That's actually so bad that I let that resolve. Wow. If I leaked that, I would just win the game, but now I might actually lose, because I have no answer to that. Okay then. Okay, at least they aren't going to be able to make 4/4s for long, unless they chump with them. Oh, and they're shackles. Cool. Sure. What do they even name here? Whir would be kind of huge, because I can't go Heliod's plus Whir for shackles. They name shackles. I guess they forgot that I'm a Whir deck. And I can actually use shackles right now. Wait, this is kind of the nuts. That's my win con, that's why I let it resolve. I can Heliod's myself and start using it. But yeah, it was kind of close because I don't have many win cons, so I really do need more win cons in this deck, but it wasn't even close in terms of stabilizing. Alright, game 2. Or match 2. Again, I don't know what my opponent is on, so I'm just going to keep a decent hand of lands and non-lands. I guess I throw away the plains. It does really depend on if my opponent is playing creatures or not, and attacking with them. And I'm guessing probably not. They're probably Twin. Izzet Twin? Which could be a bit of a problem for me. Shackles is really good in the matchup. Whir kind of helps. Makes mana leak bad. Can I play Deduce? Not really. It's really bad if I get inverted. Maybe, oh, I should have just played Whir. What am I doing? I don't know. Because if they counter Whir with invert, they can't actually take anything. I just play a Pestermite. I can't die. So might as well do this. I'm not sure how good my deck is supposed to be in a control mirror. It should be better than most decks. Though I think Twin tends to be really good in the mirror. Just because having the threat of a win at every point is really strong. Izzet's removal is also better because Condemn is really bad for this. I am a bit weak to Repeal right now. Another Pester. I mean, I am actually just dead if they play a Kiki, but they don't know that. So they probably don't go for it ever. Like, there's no way they go for this when I have both counterspells up. I don't think I ever Condemn here. I need to draw land, and answering only one of them isn't very impactful anyway. I desperately need lands, though, so I can actually resolve one of these Wraths or Shackles, instead of just getting countered and then having them untap and play Kiki. Okay, there's a land. So now I can actually answer both Pestermites, or threaten to, which is quite nice, because that forces them to use a counter. And they can't leak. The lapse is a bit annoying. because it makes sure I don't draw a land. And I can't really play a Shackles even if they do lapse. The second Condemn doesn't really do anything, but I just want to get it down. Yeah, I can't really do anything here. I think I'm just dead. If they play like the Steaming Sauna, I die. Are they playing a Kiki? It kind of looks like it. It would be a strange play, because they have really no way of knowing that I don't have a counter. There's nothing I would have wanted to counter, and I've been holding up counter magic, or representing it, all game. Okay. I can't really repeal the Pester, can I? No, definitely not anymore. Unless? No, I need to activate Study. I think I can play Shackles. I am kind of just dead to invert winning the flip. So, that's really bad. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. I don't know what I can possibly even do here, though. If I play a Wrath, I have just a bluff. Like, do I just repeal this and hope? I guess. I mean, I'm dead if I don't, so... why not? So I need them to not have Kiki or Steaming Sauna. They have Kiki. No. They have a Crackling Drake. Interesting. Let's see what happens. They can't invert, and they can't leak. They could lapse. And then that enables leak. So... what? Why? That implies that they have no other counters? No, they could have leak, but... why would they even attempt that? And now I'm dead. Wow. I mean, if they win the flip, they die. So, that was a terrible play, I think. I don't know why they went for that. It seems so unnecessary, like, even if those things die, like, they're not losing. I mean, maybe. I do have Study. It is kind of interesting for them to have to go for a risky play to win, though, when I thought I was already getting destroyed. But I guess I do actually have more stuff going on with the Study and Soul Talisman. Like, Soul Talisman is so good here, actually. I could die by condemning. I think I have to, though. Chances are they don't have a counter because they would have played it already. Though, I mean, it could just be leak, and I could just be dead. But wouldn't they have already gone for it? Maybe not, because they know I have Condemn in my deck. Okay, they don't have a counter plus a thing, or they would have done that. I probably win then. Double Burst Lightning is lethal. I kind of doubt they play it though. It's not that unlikely. So I play Wrath. It should just work. Unless they just drew a lapse. Another invert. Wow. Surely they don't get the What? Okay, so it worked. Okay, they finally got punished. Well, finally, that was only 2 attempts, but... I mean, even if they lost the flip, effectively winning it, I still would have just been able to shackle one of their creatures and block the other, so it's not like it was game-winning to actually counter that. They're playing 4 Drakes? I don't know, it could be a 2 of. How have I not seen a single counterspell this game? I have 9 counterspells in the deck. What? So Drake is actually bigger for me than it is for them. Like, how have I not seen a single counterspell in a third of my deck? I could be dead here. I could already have a Pester in hand and then draw a Kiki. And go for it because they don't really have another option. That is really bad. Maybe not. So if they play 1 spell, I can't shackle it. Unless I draw an island. If they play 2, I can't regardless. And what is this? Another one. I guess I might just have to Wrath then. Wait, why didn't I use a clue? What am I doing? I forgot about that. But even if I forgot, why didn't I already attempt to look? I don't know. Ooh. I only have 1 shackle. That's unfortunate. Like, I don't have another copy of Shackles in the main deck. It's just the 1. Okay, so I do have a lot of mana to spend, but nothing to spend it on now. I mean, I might as well just shackle the Drake, as opposed to wrathing it. I don't know why I tapped a land there. That was a terrible play. What am I doing? It shouldn't matter. And if it does, I wrath. So, should just be fine. That may have been a misplay. They could have Whale. No, it wouldn't be a misplay, though. They could Whale a Drake, and that would be worse. For me. I'm dead to removal plus counter, other than invert. But the removal can't be ill-timed. It could be Thunder Magic, Burst Lightning, Sleep Magic, not Whale. Okay, that's a lot of cards, but they are dead. Well, no. Yeah, actually they are dead if they have actual nothing. I can't condemn. Oh, I'm dead. Why didn't I draw a counterspell? I drew nearly half my deck and didn't see a single counterspell. It's a 9 of, by the way. And I died. I mean, come on, they saw 4. Oh, never mind. I guess I win. So I need a counterspell to guarantee the win. Double all fates so I can cast Dam. Okay, it only took one less card than half my deck to find a counterspell. Wait, they're alive. What am I doing? What am I doing? How did they gain life? Or they didn't gain life. I don't know. Wait, I'm dead now. Wait, what? I don't know why I thought they were dead. I thought they were at like 8. Oh, I played Condemn, right. I condemned a Crackling Drake. Oh. I might die now. I'm dead to Burst Lightning. I'm dead to Kiki, which they probably just have, so I guess I'm dead. I should have Roused and untapped the Shackles. Yeah, that was bad. And they obviously have it. They just played double Deduce for 4 cards. So I am just dead. No? They kill Zerda. They kill the Drake. Why do they care? That means they aren't going to play Kiki, I guess. There's no way they would ever want to do that if they were going to play Kiki. Unless they potentially want to use double counterspell and therefore can't kill it, but like, why? Why would they not just play Kiki first? And if it gets countered, they have Pasture to block? Okay, I guess they're dead. Unless they just drew Kiki. But why did they use that first? That makes no sense. Now they're dead if they draw Kiki, because I just leak it, and I wouldn't have been able to before. And this is lethal. I can Shackles a blocker. I can make 3 1/1s. So I can get rid of 2 blockers and come in with 3 1/1s. I do play around Burst. Sweltering. I guess I don't have lethal. But I should win. Because I have Shackles to interact with any creature they play. And then I have more Dawn of Hopes for next turn that they probably can't stop. Because I have a lot of mana now. I do draw. If I Pester, I block. Or no, I leak. What am I saying? So they kind of need to win right now, or try to answer Dawn of Hope. So I guess they need to find Pester plus Kiki. And an answer to Shackles. Because Pester doesn't work. It just costs me 2 mana. It's fine. I can still make 3 Dawn of Hope tokens. Maybe 2 if I end up using some of my shackles or deduce or whatever. Leak. And they can't play a creature unless they're playing multiple. Or somehow dealing with shackles. I don't know why they did that. Now they're just dead. I can't be dead to burst unless I have 3 of them. Which I was probably dead to anyway, because they would have a counterspell. But they are just dead to double leak now. And they are kind of low on time. If I win this game, they have 13 minutes for 2 games. Though it might not matter since they do have the twin combo, which hardly takes any time to win with. But if we have to play a late game that goes to like turn 15 like this one, then they just lose on time. Shackles is great. Disdainful is kind of necessary, I think, because it's kind of hard for me to answer the combo otherwise. Like, I have shackles, but the counterspells are terrible. So I guess Lapse is pretty good, because if I lapse the Kiki or whatever, I can then remove the Pester with a Wrath. It's not the greatest, though. Condemn is necessary for dealing with the Crackling Drake. Repeal, it is an instant speed removal spell that actually interacts, but I don't know that it works super well, because it is like 4 mana. And there's nothing small to repeal except Deduce. Though maybe that is enough of a reason to play it. Deduce. Heliod's, it's the rooms, or whatever they're called. So they can't have a Firina, essentially. Hallowed Moonlight stops the combo, but not really. I mean, it delays it so I can Wrath. It's probably not impactful enough, though. Maybe we should have another Condemn. For what? I guess I'll just do this. This hand is not great. Double Condemn is not what I want in my starting hand at all, despite what I said about the card being okay. Whir is decent though, at least. This is where Repeal would be really good. It's kind of bad now though, to draw it later. They miss a land drop and don't look for it. Wait, no, they didn't miss a land drop. I just didn't see the stacked islands. Oh, I should have Whirred for Soul Talisman. What am I doing? Though I guess I don't really care if it gets countered. And they could have had Repeal regardless. I don't know. I definitely should have done it though. Because I'm never countering. I don't have a counter spell, so I can't counter this regardless. I'm just condemning. No reason to use a Wrath, I think. Because this is the card I want to be condemning. Wrath is for like random Pestermites. I don't care if I get leaked or whatever. So I'm fine with doing this. That's not that bad. I still have Zerda for study if I want to get some card advantage. Though they probably have the answer in the form of the Steaming Sauna thing. Roaring Furnace. Can they use Zerda if they invert it? Probably not. It's just a 3/3. But they might invert it. No. They probably just remove it with the Roaring Furnace. I'm dead. No? Why did they tap Zerda? That does not make sense. That means they aren't playing Kiki because they would obviously tap. What are they? What? What is this play? They deserve to lose for this play. This is such an abysmal play. Why did they tap Zerda? This card does actual nothing right now. If I had a counterspell, I mean, I guess I kind of showed that I didn't have a counterspell because I didn't counter the Pester. But still, you always hit the land. Like, I could have a Fateful Absence or something. But there's just no reason to ever counter the Zerda. Or tap the Zerda. Because what if I did have a leak or lapse and I was just F6ing through it on accident? Then they would just die after I countered their Kiki. I should really make 12 creatures so they can beat double condemn. Okay, so now they just have to attack with Kiki. And they beat double condemn. Okay, so I mean, I can't really play Filigree because normally you would put it on 3 for Pester, but I have important 3s like Shackles. Maybe I should cut Heliod's. Answering the 1 enchantment is not the greatest. They could have Needle, though. Maybe it is just Hallowed Moonlight. It would have been pretty good there. It would have won me the game there. Wait, that's actually the card that they would have gotten punished for their misplay with. Because I wouldn't be able to use it to stop the Pester, but it would work against Kiki, and I had the Wrath too. So they were actually dead if I had Hallowed Moonlight there. Okay, it's the Drago hand. I'll play one of the farmlands. Cycle the other on turn 2. If I don't want to counter anything. I will counter a Deduce, though they're just going to play that on my end step, or their end step, I mean. Or mine. Probably theirs, though. Or they should. But they're F6'd. Kind of implies they don't have it. I probably should put Zerda in hand. I do want to counter Deduce if they do have it, though. They do. I don't know what they were playing around by not playing it on their own end step. Maybe they don't care if it gets countered, or they want it to get countered. They definitely don't, considering my hand, though. Maybe they have the 3 that they want to resolve. Okay, so if I were on my end step, I can still counter something. Well, they have the tech for Whir, but that was not the time to play that. Like, are they actually playing this because of Whir? Or signing it in because of that? I'm guessing yes. I'm guessing the reason they have it in their deck is Nature's Rhythm, though. I don't cycle the Thassa's. regardless of what they do. If they play Steaming Sauna, I can play Disdainful. Though maybe Leak is better. I can't counter that. Unless... I think I do actually want to try to counter this. If they use their own counter, that's fine. It's also fine if it resolves, though. I don't need it. I have nothing to do with the mana right now. And they can't really resolve anything here. Okay, can I find some gas, please? Like, Dawn of Hope does just win the game right now. All Fate Scroll also does, I think. I'm not sure that I actually want to counter that. Them having a 3/3 is actually kind of a problem, though. And I do want this Zerd if I draw a All Fates, or the Study, or Dawn of Hope. No plays. Well, I doubt this works. It just does. Interesting. I don't want to attack into a whale, because I don't want to activate the All Fate Scroll in response, and then die to Pester Kiki. Though they probably don't have Pester, they would have played it, right? 4 cards is not that much, but it is pretty game-winning, I think. Do I leak? I think I have to play Disdainful Stroke. It's that or nothing. I don't hate doing nothing, but I don't think it's correct. Actually, I kind of like Leak here. I can't counter a counterspell now, but I think that's fine. Well, okay then. I guess if I did the other order, I would still have the Disdainful Stroke like I wanted. Alright, 4 cards. Okay. That is every word in my deck. Which is actually kind of good, because both All Fates and Shackles are quite good here. And if they invert a 3-mana Whir, can they get anything? Probably. They could have Needle. I don't know what else. Okay, they don't answer a Soul Talisman, they answer Zerda. That's fine. I have plenty of mana without the Zerda. Deduce is very good here. They're just passing. Wow, they didn't even... They're F6'd. I don't think I'm confident enough in their F6 to go for Shackles with 0 mana up. Oh. Okay then. They were F6'd, so surely they don't have a counterspell. Invert could have been really bad there. But it probably would have been fine. They only have 2 islands, is the main thing. And I have All Fates to draw a million cards. I have my other Shackles in the Whir. And they're just gonna time out if we both have a Shackles. Again, F6ing. So I currently have 5 cards with All Fates, which I will use right now. And it will just end the game. Like, yeah, this card is just really good for winning the card advantage battle, without having to actually play, like, Farsight Rituals. But you do have to actually draw it. which should be fairly easy with 4 Whirs and 2 copies of it. But yeah, sometimes you just draw 5 cards and it isn't enough though. So, not necessarily always winning the late game. That is pretty bad for them. Though I can't actually Kiki any of my own things. Only theirs. If they play Pester, they do immediately die. They die. I don't know why they're doing this. This definitely does not work the way they want it to. Like, they're actually just dead to their own combo now. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. Now they are in fact dead. Maybe that was their concession. They wanted the Shackles player to do the combo. I'm now 4-0 in the league, 2-0 for the video. Okay, it is round 5. My 3rd match of this video. So, this hand is good, I would say. It has Deduce to find lands, it has answers to creatures, has no counterspells, which is maybe a problem, depends on the matchup. Swamp. Okay, it is aggro. So the hand should be pretty good. Wrath is good. Condemn is good. Whir is okay. Green. I guess it's a Spinner of Souls deck, perhaps? Some kind of Aristocrats things? I don't know why they would have Diregraph in an Aristocrats deck. But it is an Aristocrats deck. Wow, that is a really good hit. They get Timeline Color plus Bloodghast. I'm gonna need them to not have a land. I don't know about this. They are not playing Luris, so I guess it probably can get something, but it might just be there for the mill. I mean, that is just the nuts. I get 2 creatures for milling 3 cards that they can put in play. But it almost seems like they don't have a land. Oh, never mind. They are just waiting for that. Maybe? I guess they don't have a land. I am just playing Deduce, though. Okay, they actually missed a land drop. That's really good, because now they can't Bloodghast. Okay, I drew a land. Ooh. Wait, so on turn 4, I can go Whir plus Wrath. That's kind of insane. I do need to Condemn here. They can't attack with Bloodghast, so that's good. But they will be able to after I Wrath. Okay, they draw a land off the top. I might just be dead despite having Wrath plus Condemn here. Because they did kind of have the nuts. Despite missing the land drop. They're just playing the cooler, okay. I think I have to answer that. No way. I'm dead. I'm just dead. The game is just over. Yeah, they just had the nuts. It's better for them to have a color in exile than in the graveyard. That card is kind of insane. Against specifically my deck, because the pay 2 life does nothing, and I never block it because I don't really have blockers, so that isn't really a downside. Oh, I guess I'm not dead, because they don't have a land drop necessarily. I don't know why I tapped that. Why not? So I'm dead to a land. If they don't have a land, I'm probably still dead. I mean, if they just have the color... Okay, I'm just dead. They top decked a land. Wow. That is unfortunate. I mean, I had everything I needed. I had Condemn plus turn 4 Wrath. And I still lost to an aggro deck. Like, I had turn 5, Dawn of Hope, activate it. That shouldn't lose to aggro, but they just had such a good start for against control, or against any deck, really. So, Silent Gravestone does nothing, right? They don't actually target anything. Timely is really good. Isolate is good. It does miss most things, though. The things I care about the most. Hallowed Moonlight is good, I think. On the play, the counters could be fine. Maybe. But, like, what else am I setting out? Heliod's is bad. I don't think it does anything. I guess I just side out most of the counters. Like, they should be an easier matchup. They're an aggro deck that aren't... They're an aggro deck and they aren't a Thalia deck. It was really just that first mill, though. Okay, this hand is really good. Condemn on turn 2. Timely on turn 3, potentially. Even if they don't damage me, because I Condemn. Give them life. The synergy. Age-old. Condemn or Oust plus Timely. Also works with Loxodon Peacekeeper. Okay, so they have mill every turn and they can draw with that. And then they can also just play a 3-mana 6/6 if they have enough creatures in the yard, but that's pretty difficult. Oh, it doesn't have to be creatures. I guess that's not too difficult then. Though it still does die somewhat quickly, I think. They get nothing. So Condemn is so important. Like, if this was Destroy a creature, I would just lose this matchup so often because I have no answer to Kohler or Bloodghast otherwise. And I can't even really put large creatures in play like normal. Like, normally I would have Loxodon Peacekeeper, some kind of Baneslayer Angel, maybe a Trawler. Do I answer this? Wait, how did they take damage? Llanowar Wastes? I guess I'm playing Timely while I can. So I really want the Whir. Having Soul Talisman plus Zerda basically just makes me have way more Dawn of Hope things a turn than they can put creatures in play. Or toughness, I guess. They could definitely have some disenchants though, like Assassin's Trophy. And if the Assassin's Trophy Dawn of Hope I could just lose because my deck doesn't have anything else to do. But I could just like play Raths and get there with Colonnade. They just concede, wow. Yeah, I really need another win con. I almost played Approach in the sideboard. I probably should have. Because how else am I going to win the game? That's exactly Dawn of Hope. And what if I have a Disenchant? I guess Shackles is a win con against pretty much any aggro deck. Or even mid-range for the most part. This hand is not the greatest. Shackles with 1 island. I mean, I guess 2 islands is plenty for most. Like, all of their things are 2 power, right? I do condemn this just to reduce the amount of damage I take, because that's really what matters. Stifling the early aggro, even if they have a better thing, which this is not. Blood-soaked, that's fine. Not nearly as bad as something else could be. So, I have turn 3 Whir, turn 4 Shackles activate. And they shouldn't be able to do too much to me in that time. They're not playing a haste. They have like 6 and teaching, so they aren't even really that aggressive. That's strange. Okay, this is better right now. I mean, I was going to be able to play it later, but it's good to be able to block right now. Though I could have definitely just gone Whir first into Shackles, and then used Timely later. If all they're doing is putting Blood-soaked into play, that's really good for me. But yeah, they don't even seem like they're that aggressive. They just had a really good draw in the first game. Because like 6? That's terrible at killing people. Okay, I'm kind of regretting not playing the Mystic Gate last turn. That was definitely a misplay. I guess I go Shackles and then play Whir next turn for the Soul Talisman. Because I'm not losing the mana that I would be doing right now, because I can't spend the 2 mana from Soul Talisman this turn. And it's untapped, so doing it next turn means I still get the mana for next turn. Though I actually have nothing to spend the mana on next turn either, unless I'm playing Shackles or Zirda rather than activating Shackles. Which honestly doesn't sound terrible right now. They're not really doing anything. Yeah, I kind of like this play. I could have played a Shackles instead. I think that activating Study actually does matter here. So I want to get the Zirda down somewhat quickly. Blood-soaked. How do they have nothing? Aren't most of their cards like 2 mana? No, I use Study this turn. No reason to play Shackles now. It doesn't really do anything immediately, and I can just play it next turn, while also getting a free card. So the game is very much over. They needed to do something. And I had the answer even if they did, but the fact that they didn't means they're just dead. They can't attack here. They do anyway. They have a disenchant. That's fine. I'm still eating their creature with Zerta. I have a card draw every turn, I have another Shackles. I guess if both this Shackles and the Dawn of Hope gets answered, I kind of lose. Because Colonnade probably never gets there. Okay, so I have Shackles plus the Hallowed Moonlight. Attack, why not? They block? I guess because they don't want me to be able to shackle it and block one of their creatures that can't block. I don't know why they're playing that though. Why not just attack? Isn't that the point of sacking Willowgeist? That they can actually attack? Without me just stealing a creature to block with? But now I just steal the 2/3 and eat one of their creatures. And they played a land first, too. So now Bloodghast just dies. And they can't get it back right now. If I had Trophy or Abrupt Decay, they should have already played it. Okay, so that's really weak to Hallowed Moonlight, if I can kill that. Well, I guess I can't ever kill that. If I had 2 scrolls, I could sack that. If I somehow got a creature into the graveyard, which is exactly Zerta. I should have drawn already. I don't know why I did this. I will Hallowed Moonlight as soon as they try to reanimate a single thing. Maybe I should have left back a blocker. Try to block a Bloodghast. So the next one dies. I should have lapsed that. I don't know why I didn't. Okay, I mean, I just Hallowed Moonlight the Bloodghast, isolate the Blood-Soaked, and then they're just dead. Lapse any kind of blocker. Probably not the Geist, though. It does grow, though. So maybe it probably only grows to a 2/2. I don't know why they didn't play a land. Oh, they just don't have one, obviously. But it would have haste if they did. So I'm not going to need a Hallowed Moonlight, so I can just use the study without having to fear needing Moonlight and not drawing. Not that I even need to answer a Bloodghast, since it doesn't block. Whir... I mean, I'm just gonna hold back a blocker. They might jump. They do. They're drawing another Willowgeist. I'm going Whir for the scroll and then just drawing a million cards, winning the game. So, I mean, it's been over for a long time. We're kind of just going through the motions at this point. Like, I just have a million ways of gaining card advantage. And, what, like 15 mana? Well, not quite, but I can. Oh, I could have gone Ratchet Bomb, kill all the ones. I should have. So now I draw like 6 or 7 cards or whatever it is, play a Wrath, or fail to find a Wrath. That also is a thing. I can't gain life, unfortunate. But okay. They know that they can't kill Zerda. So, I'm gonna have 8 power of the Shackles, and I can Ratchet Bomb their Diagraph Ghouls. Though... Oh, what am I doing? Oh, winning, I guess. I don't know why they didn't attack with their thing. They just let me shackle it. I guess they have an answer, maybe? I could have leaked it, though, anyway. And they should be aware of that. It is a little dangerous to do this. I don't think they can ever burn me, though. And I have leak, if they try. They're not if I go for Filigree. Not that I even need it right now. It does nothing. I think they're just dead. I don't know what they had to think. What could they possibly have to think about here? If they have a creature, they play it. If they have any spell, they play it. Okay. I finally conceded. The game was over a long time before that. Okay, so I ended up going 5-0. The three matches I played on this video were against Izzet Twin, the Graveyard deck I just played against, and what is this? Alright, the Angels deck. And before I played against the Mono Red combo deck and Cloudpost, which I won by, well, one of their games they just got mana screwed super hard, they mulled the 4 and didn't have a functional hand. And another one, I was on the play, game 3, and I just countered all of their ram spells so they couldn't actually draw Cloudposts. And they actually mind-slavered me several times, I believe, but it didn't actually do anything, it was just a time walk. But yeah, I got the 5-0. I don't think the deck... Like, the main problem with Azorius Control is that you can never really beat Cloudpost, and I did, but it shouldn't really happen very often. So, I wouldn't bring it to a tournament because I'm too afraid of facing M-Dog and being incapable of winning a tournament because I would always have to face M-Dog and get eliminated by that. But it is a good deck if you don't face Cloudpost, I think. I think that the Whir of Invention plan is bad, or at least this list is bad. Less because of Whir and more because I built it poorly without putting win cons in. There really should be something like Torrential Gearhulk to find off Whir, just a big value play. Though I guess that's what All Fate Scroll is. I think that Zerda is just bad this season. Like, you need to be able to play removal spells like Horned Lockwhale and other things like that. The win cons also really want to be non-Zerda things. And just a lot of sideboard cards as well, like Pithing Needle and Loxodon Peacekeeper. So yeah, I think Zerda is just bad this season. But yeah, I think if Cloudpost isn't very popular, then Azorius Control is actually a really good deck. And I think you could build Whir. You could just put Whir and Soul Talisman in the deck. You don't even really need many artifacts. You don't need to play Zerda. It's just good as a 3-mana instant that makes a Soul Talisman, a Soul Ring. So yeah, that was the league. I went 5-0. I think this season, Lumber Twin is the best deck by far. So I will probably make a video on that in the future, in the near future, as in like a month from now. But and that's probably what I'll bring to the 500 as well, because I don't think anything is even close to Lumber Twin in terms of power. Like, if you look at the tournaments page, it's the most popular deck in the format and also has a 68% win rate. And that's a lot of different people who did well with the deck. It's not really any individual person. It's more that basically everyone who has played it, or most people who have played it, have just done really well, and just had like 80% win rates, even in tournaments, which is kind of crazy.